simple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Siffle. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. Welcome into the post-game post-up. Nebraska basketball just finished up another game. Hustle down to the block and get position.
Shot clock to 7. Hoiberg missed. Got his own rebound. Right back up.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.
How big has he been down the stretch for this Nebraska ball club? 10 points all in the second half. Now the lead back to 3.
Join 93.7 The Ticket to break down the best players and key moments from today's action.
Sanford a couple of steps from behind the line. And now Lawrence from the corner. He hits. And another eruption from all the red and Lincoln. Not even close. Now Creighton has not been able to hit anything. 0 for 8 from distance. Prager hits some space. He connects.
Post-game coverage of Nebraska basketball on The Ticket is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, the Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical.
Here we gotta go. Down to 5. Hoiberg kicks it out. Lawrence for the win.
It's the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's finally over. The wait is over. Nebraska basketball has won an NCAA tournament game. What an incredible experience for everybody that we all lived through collectively as Husker fans. Nebraska gets the win over Troy, 76-47, I can say for the first time in program history, is advancing in March. What an incredible story. What an incredible day. I've been saying all along, there's going to be plenty of tears shed, and maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how many tears should be shed. I saw some tears shed there on the Troy sideline as their season comes to an end. But just the way that this happened, this was not, a game that came down to the end. This was a game that the Huskers controlled shortly after it tipped off. Of course, Troy hit a few threes to get it going early on in that game, jump out to a 9-4 lead. It was pretty much Huskers from there, and what an incredible story we have. What a great time and place that we can celebrate. We're live here at Buffalo Wings and Rings from 68-0. This is the Nebraska March Madness Post-Game Show versus Troy. I'm Jake Buckman. He's Nick Wyman. We'll have plenty of other folks jumping on. Hopefully, we will hear later on via stream from Austin Oben, Jake Sorensen, those guys down there. That is, if they are, if they can make it through the madness down in Oklahoma City, because it feels and it looks, at least like when you look on social media and even on the TV broadcast, like that was pretty much been a big arena for the Husker fans. Husker red everywhere. It did not look like what you usually see in a first-round matchup. And, of course, that's because of what was at stake on the line for Nebraska. Happy for everybody out there, of course. Now get to hang out in Oklahoma City for a few days, await the opponent. Nebraska's season advances. They play on Saturday against the winner of McNeese State and Vanderbilt, which we'll see here in just a bit. It's interesting, Nick, as we jump into this. It's not going to be one of those games again where you have to say, here's where it turned, this was the big moment, that sort of stuff. This was a game Nebraska just eventually started to dominate themselves and set some separation. Price Sanford certainly got going there in the first half to kind of let it explode and let it go here. So obviously, I think it's more of a big picture discussion to begin with, which is, of course, that this program has been around since 1896. That is 130 years, and have never had a day like this. The NCAA tournament has been around since 1939, 87 years. Nebraska's never had a win in the tournament. And, of course, now that is no longer true. Nebraska has an NCAA tournament win. I've talked about it. I've been on here at 93.7 The Ticket since 2013. It's been a long ride, a lot of ups and downs. A lot of downs over those years.
Single-digit win seasons.
Some single-digit win seasons. We were doing post-game shows. Here we are, another post-game show. Doing post-game shows. I remember back in Fred Hoiberg's first season, a 9-game losing streak heading into Rutgers. Another loss. Let's do another post-game show. It was tough. All of that we've waited for this moment in time, in Nebraska basketball has done it. They've punched their ticket to the second round.
Yeah, as a local growing up watching the game, I told the story. My mom got me out of school. It was a doctor's appointment for that Baylor-Nebraska game 12 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Got to witness that, the hardships of seeing that game, and Walter Pitchford and Dram Petaway, Siobhan Shields, a team who we all thought could get it done. And then a couple years ago, Casey Tominaga mania took over, and we all thought, hey, maybe that's the team that gets it done. This team does it. I mean, like chills, literally chills thinking about it. If you want to join the conversation, this is your show. The drought is over. 402-464-5685 in the Starter Heyman Jewelry text line. We have it. We can see everything you're saying in front of us. Let's start off with everything that's going on. The texts are coming in quick and fast. 83566. Any idea what time the game will be Saturday? At a time, we don't know. We won't know until the end of the night, until all the games on Thursday are put together. I would suggest maybe a night game, but it's all up to the NCAA for that one. 4979 says, build that statue, Jake. Jake Sorensen wants a statue of Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah.
Start building it. Jake Sorensen, maybe he's got, I don't know, some money on that one. I don't know. Huskers P says, I've got tears of joy, not ashamed of crying, essentially. Proud of this team, GBR. And then I can't imagine what this type of win would feel like, says Corey, in a later round. Wow, that was fun. Yeah, I mean, this is uncharted territory. Husker fans have never been able to experience this, and we've had such an experience here at Buffalo Wings Arena. I can't imagine what it's like down in Oklahoma City. Leaving that arena right now is probably like leaving a Husker game after Jordan Westerkamp caught that Hail Mary. Like, that's probably the only thing I can really compare it to. It's awesome to see in general, just because look at what this means. I mean, we saw the line packed out here, the people going into Oklahoma City, the people who made the drive down there to see this witness. And the exciting thing is this is not it. This is not the end of the season. There's another game to be played against either McNeese State or Vanderbilt. And I think about a little story. We've given out our prizes at the top of the hour. One of the prizes we gave away during halftime was to a gentleman with his kid named JJ. JJ's probably 7, 8 years old. I asked, shouldn't you be in school? His dad goes, we got him out. He can miss one day. He would want a T-shirt. He want a mug. He got a Sam Hoiberg headband. And I think of that from that young kid's perspective, I said, hey, maybe you should get out of school tomorrow too. Because why not? But that's his dad's choice. But to get that young fan, he's going to grow up in 4 years and have that, I was here at Buffalo Wings Rings, was able to experience that with my dad. He's going to have a family one day and be a basketball fan, a Nebraska basketball fan. I'd assume he's decked out in his red. He is able to experience that with his kids down the line. And that's just what makes sports so special. That's what makes this so special for Nebraska, because, I mean, it's 11 o'clock tip-off on a weekday. How many fans? This place is packed. People are having good vibes. And now the march is on, Jake.
That's right. The next game comes about. We saw after the game Fred Hoiberg getting interviewed. The team was rallying around him. You can see the smiles from not just the coaching staff, the players. I mean, they realized what they did, and that is great history. They've been trying to, it's kind of been talked about as the elephant in the room, or not something you necessarily address or put too much emphasis on, but it's impossible to go around Nebraska, especially with the winning streak that they had, all the regular success. I mean, and this has been quite a ride for Nebraska basketball to get to this point. You think about starting off 20-0, didn't even count the win in the exhibition game against BYU. Of course, all this started in the ground, seemingly last year is when they started to make their run. So, I mean, there's just a lot that accumulates into this, but it has been an incredible run, and it's not done, to your point, Nebraska. Now we all get to kind of see, like, what is there is no ceiling on Nebraska now. It's been there for the history of the program that there's a certain level that Nebraska basketball is supposed to get to in college basketball, and now they've broken through. And so what does that mean? As the 4 seed, they're going to have at least the seed advantage against the winner of Vanderbilt and McNeese. Vanderbilt, of course, a 5 seed who has beaten Florida here in the recent weeks. Florida, the number 1 seed in the region, likely or could be the Elite 8 opponent, or excuse me, the Sweet 16 opponent for Nebraska if they get there. And it is beautiful, because this is where we can start to dream, right? I mean, a lot of people would say that going into this game. And certainly Nebraska, the big favorite, the better team, the big conference. They shouldn't have dropped this game one way or the other, but nothing's given. And we knew, there are a couple of upsets every year. In March, Nebraska's been at the wrong end of those at certain times throughout their program history. Of course, it would help a lot more if Nebraska made the NCAA tournament more. This was their 9th appearance. Now 1-8, dropped their first 8. But that's what the totality of all this is. And you're talking about, and I was thinking about it too. I've got a son who will be born here in July, and it's just, I was thinking through, it's like, man, it's just a different path, right? I mean, I know everybody's got, the time that you were born is going to change life drastically, but to be a Nebraska basketball fan, I don't know by the time you're kind of aware where this program is going to be, but it's not going to be my existence of, again, 35 years, and I will say at least 28 of those years charting every game, watching or listening to every game. Shout out to Ken Phil for calling those games throughout time. And rarely, like I said, rarely making the tournament. How special was it to even make the tournament a couple years ago under Fred Hoiberg? But nationally, it's kind of interesting too. There's been some picks, of course, of Troy to upset Nebraska. That has gone the opposite route. I think a lot of history probably played into that. But I'm just kind of interested to see when teams, when Nebraska's kind of been picked throughout different brackets. Is you got to remember it's Fred Hoiberg. Fred Hoiberg is a no-name around college basketball. Might have got buried a few years here at the beginning of his tenure at Nebraska, but now that he's back in the dance, like, that's a guy that's won some games. He's been to the Sweet 16. We'll see if they can keep it rolling against McNeese or Vanderbilt. Of course, everybody's going to have their eyes on TV for that, but it is, again, and we'll break it down, get the numbers, all that sort of stuff. But additionally, it's just about, the years that everybody's put in this. You look at these tables, every table's, 3 or 4 Husker fans, or some even more. You're thinking about a total of more than a century worth of following Husker basketball, and every one of them, and all of them, not making it to this moment. It's just a collective, I don't even say sigh of relief, but a reason to celebrate. At one point, I think it would have been a sigh of relief, but the streak has been on so long that it's just the ultimate celebratory time here at Buffalo Wings and Rings and of course, part of Husker Nation.
Yeah, we're going to be here till 6 o'clock before we get a break. First get a text in 402-464-525. Denny Mobile built the statue. Bill and Ben says so. Jake tried and cut down the it's only a round 1 win. Let's hey, there's another game to be played. This wasn't the championship. We all wish it was a national championship on Thursday at 11:40 in the morning. Railroader match. 41 years of being a Husker basketball fan. Tears have been running down, and we continue to run. We did it. Go Big Red. I'm so stoked. That's what I mean. It means so much to everybody else. Putting time and money and effort into going to these games, whether they be the teams that have not come forward in that streak and are getting their first one, or the teams that have struggled to put it all together. We've seen coaches go by in the past. So exciting to say the least. Another game is Saturday as well. We're going to go to break, though, just to get our station reputation and everything put together. Postgame will march on. Plenty of faces. Riley's going to step in here. Jake Sorensen, if he's available, I don't know after this, Jake. I don't know. Jake Sorensen might be on a high after this one. And then,
That's it. Gerald is right now 60% of people brackets are already busted.
Well, you can thank
TCU
and you can thank Nebraska for the ones who bought Nebraska.
No, thank TCU.
They picked TCU.
It wasn't Nebraska.
Hey, that's just how it is. That's what Madness March and I point out to leave Wisconsin now. So, hey, we can probably tally that number up as we go. We're going to go to break here at Box in this break. We'll be back with another standby. Continue to get that. We're here until 6 o'clock. So
that's right. Stay tuned till 6 o'clock here and come on down. There's a few seats open because the Nebraska game is over, but there's plenty more tournament time. We'll follow the tournament throughout it and celebrate more. Coming up next year from Buffalo Wings and Rings, it's March Mayhem on 93.7 The Ticket.
Over 60%.
improve your game, and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Take your operation to the next level. Right now at Landmark Implement, take advantage of special financing on model year 2019 through 2025 John Deere tractors, sprayers, and combines. Take advantage of a 12-month fixed interest waiver, followed by John Deere Financial standard rates, or choose from multiple split rate offers with approved credit. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Nebraska men's basketball is dancing. The Huskers qualified for the NCAA tournament, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to cover all the action. Follow me, Austin Orman, on all 93.7 The Ticket social media platforms for updates throughout Nebraska's appearance in the Big Dance. Our coverage from Oklahoma City is made possible by Sandhills Careers and Insight Partners.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to March Mayhem. Live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Welcome into the post-game post-up. Nebraska basketball just finished up another game. Hustle down to the block and get position.
Shot clock to 7. Hoiberg missed. Got his own rebound. Right back up. Missed it.
And there it is. Garcia. How big has he been down the stretch for this Nebraska ball club?
10 points all in the second half. Now the lead back to 3.
Join 93.7 The Ticket to break down the best players and key moments from today's action.
Sanford a couple of steps from behind the line. And now Lawrence from the corner. He hits. And another eruption from all the red in Lincoln. Not even close. Now Creighton has not been able to hit anything. 0 for 8 from distance. Prager gets some space. He connects.
Post-game coverage of Nebraska basketball on The Ticket is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, the Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical.
Here we gotta go. Down to 5. Hoiberg kicks it out. Lawrence for the win. Got it.
It's the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket.
Yes, welcome in all you crazy Husker fans, and I know you're crazy right now because Nebraska basketball has done it. They've moved on to the next round in the NCAA tournament. That means they've got an NCAA tournament win for the first time in program history and did it convincingly today, 76-47 over, we can call them the friends now that they're not foes, our friends, the Troy Trojans there. And I do appreciate Troy. They'll always go down in history for Nebraska basketball. Huskers didn't have much problem with the Trojans today. Valdez of the Trojans started off with a few threes, and they jumped out to a 9-4 lead for Nebraska. And so, maybe for just a few minutes, Husker fans are starting to think, here we go again. Of course, it's a long game. Hopefully, you didn't think that. Nebraska just needed to get warmed up a little bit, and warmed up they did get because they started getting, specifically in the first half there with Bryce Sanford was in fuego there for the Huskers. So again, maybe the most important aspect of this, despite the first win and all that, is that John Rothstein is already tweeted out. He says, "Dear Nebraska fans, congratulations on making history. Happy hour is on me," as he promised. "See you before next season in the Haymarket District. Date is TBD. Sincerely, JR." So we will have that. There will be a certain bar or a bar at some point. I'm sure will be announced. That will be a time to celebrate happy hour down there. But of course, right now, today, here in the city of Lincoln, looking outside, I don't see any riots going on, but it could be happening. I think there's probably celebrations going everywhere, including here at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and 0. A reminder, there are a few seats opening up here as the Nebraska game is over. We will be out here until 6 with NCAA tournament action. And it is interesting. Certainly Wisconsin struggling with High Point now. That's about 54-50. A little bit over midway through or close to midway through the second half there. Louisville in control of South Florida. And Siena, how about this? Less than 6 minutes into the game, up on Duke. So as Terrell was telling us earlier, a lot of brackets busted, 60% of them already. If Siena lose to Duke, I think that goes to 99.9%.
I don't think anybody in this building sitting on the patio after leaving with a perfect bracket. Farley still said he's going to beat me, but hey, that's all I'm talking until you get to the actual ball. Get into the text line. Remember, this is your show. We've been doing this all season long for all the games. Start hitting the text line 402-464-5685. It's 402-464-5685. Husker Nation, you are Nation. No. After all else, this is wonderful. That's another pipeline area down. Dan Fred, Illinois, GDR, Ron in South Lincoln, age 62. Ron in South Lincoln, age 62. Build a statue of the whole team, put it right in front of you. Maybe a pretty big statue. The ball boy is too big to think about that. This is uncharted territory at this moment. We see also, you're saying some very light. There's still a handful of people hanging around after the game. Rowdy, still rowdy. Vibes are high, and there's the beauty about all this is more basketball. You're watching, wherever you're watching, you're the chat. We updates like Siena leading. That's the beauty of March Madness. Farley back in headband, Center, Jake Sorensen, potentially. I'm not saying he's a lock to be on the post game. He has called in a lot, but after he's down there in Oklahoma City with Bush, Austin Orman, I guarantee Austin Orman will be there for sure because, he's been on the beat for a while. He's been through the rough times as well. And this is the moment for us. Scott needs people's elbow off the top rope. Is how we describe this. Yeah, this is a moment that Nebraska fans remember forever. Remember where you are. The best part about the team that is not here is one of the fans came through here between the breaks said, "Hey, we're playing with house money. Nebraska's playing with house money. The expectation for the season, right? If you 20 wins, maybe get in the tournament. Oh, you're heading around 32 and have a chance to play in Vanderbilt, State. We'll get into the game a little bit as well. We talked about Bryce Sanford.
feel like it's a good buzz for these post 30. Like, I hope that's good 5 minutes left. Are we going to do that once again? Bryce Stanford, Nebraska, in the first 10 minutes, the best. Nebraska's had games where so Bryce Stanford, 7-3, 12 points. He's still really good. Yeah. Nebraska, Bryce Stanford. I mean, what a transfer. Get that kind of guy. He just gel well. There's a lot of question marks. But Nebraska basketball team can get pass backs, Harper, Marcus Marks. Nebraska. He's throwing Bryce Stanford. Gel well. We didn't know. They are 27-6 on.
Yes, absolutely. And again, it is a weird feeling. You never know what it's going to be like when you kind of finally get there. Again, would have been different if Nebraska, had to hit a buzzer beater or something like that. Maybe that's what you imagine if you're thinking Nebraska to get past that, to finally get that first win. It was interesting because it got a comfortable lead, and so you kind of get to breathe it in, take it in, look around you. But even now, less than 1 hour removed from Nebraska getting off the snide in the NCAA tournament, I'm just still like, and I'll struck by it, even though I expected to win today, right? Because it's just a different world we live in now that Nebraska basketball has been able to do this. I've been saying it all year, saying it all week. I've been saying it 4 years. On my bucket list was to see Nebraska win an NCAA tournament. And I've checked a lot of things off my bucket list in the past. Doesn't have too much control over this one, but to actually be able to see it done is so exciting because it changes the view of this program, the aim of this program, and the next step of this program. And what is exciting about it is it can go, from 0 to 100 pretty quick. With this Vanderbilt McNeese game coming up again, that is going to be the most important game outside of Nebraska winning here today on opening Thursday to see who you're going to get Friday. Maybe that's where the upset happens. Maybe not. Vanderbilt, of course, has been a very good team over the last several weeks. That will be a very difficult game. Nebraska, obviously a 4-seed, Vanderbilt a 5. They're seen in kind of relatively the same arena, same type of technical. So, that will be absolutely huge when we get there. That's when we can kind of start to focus. It's like, okay, as we make these steps in the program, it can go pretty quickly to get to a Sweet 16 appearance. And then what you go from there, obviously, is anything can happen. When you get to the Sweet 16 and it just in general, get to this tournament, you win 6 games, you're national champions. Nebraska's got 1 checked off. But to your point, this is a game that just very much favors Nebraska in every sense. They won the rebounding battle. The assist to turnover battle looks incredibly good for Nebraska. They came out with 10 steals. I mean,
Sam Hoyer led them in rebounding.
Yeah, no surprise there. Although it would be at the beginning of the season, but 9 rebounds for Sam Hoiberg. And I think that is where we can kind of take the discussion is a lot of things that not only did you want to win, but for the expectation of this team is back to feeling good and maybe hit their stride once again going here into the second round. You need to see some things happen today. Brink Mass continuing to get double digits, and he helped Nebraska early when the game was a little bit closer. He finished with 11, 6, and 7. 11, 6, and 7 for Brink Mass. 7 assists from the big man. How about that from Brink Mass? Granted, either, this was a game that would have probably been a little bit closer, a little bit more uncomfortable half if he didn't bury with 4 threes in the first half. When it been 5,
I think it was 5.
Yeah, going for obviously the record is 8. If they needed him, maybe a little longer. He finishes 7 of 12 from beyond the arc, so you keep him hot. He's going to be the key to the tournament for Nebraska, in my opinion. Bear Kick gets 9 points, including a 3. Absolutely awesome to get him going. But Jamarcus Lawrence is probably the biggest one, along with Braden Trigger. I would put them both in the same category. 13 points. Those were 2 guys that, especially shooting for Lawrence, he had been struggling. 4 of 8 today, 3 of 7 from the field. Prager, did not have his most efficient day, but I like the fact that he went after it, right? He was going, he took 15 shots. Again, 5 of 15, could have shot better from beyond the arc, 2 of 10. But that's the fragment that Nebraska needs to make the run. It's funny because you can't do many more than one X factors. But obviously, the Big Ten six-man of the year kind of lost his punch for the last couple of games. Now it looks like he's at least on the attack.
Yeah, and I think it's going to make Nebraska dangerous. See Nebraska going the right way. That's what makes them so dangerous. March Madness run is one game. Still have another game on Saturday. It's see all the text in those here in a second. 402-464. It's really pushing it right. Because there's basketball. You could be watching basketball, but you have us on the thing. You have a setup. You have us pulled up for some of the games. Send your pictures. 402-464. We got a man cave with 4 TVs. Nice. Working from home. Working from home. Working from home. Yeah. Good for the guy. 4 TVs. Unknown Texas 906 months Nebraska in the area is cheering in his office. Hopefully, it didn't disrupt anything.
Hopefully, it did disrupt it. I hope so.
Do what you gotta do. 6696. Rightly so. I mean, we're built here. Derek says, build on them territory. This team's not done yet. Stay tuned. Hey, yeah, whatever floats your boat. Another game. I'm in play tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Sunday, 4 straight days. Wrestling, everything else in between. Baseball, softball. It's spring game next week as well, but that's kind of on the back. Six says he's 61 years old. And so far, I think that's my goal. Take it. People who have put time and money and effort to see this team play high level, low level, and just being able to embrace it wherever they are. Just from home and go remember the rest of your life. I'm saying that. Yeah. I wasn't really worried anymore. But Price Saber was able to do that. He is the guy to lead the way. He gets going, teams start to really hand check. Really want him to zone out. Cannot let him open. Troy left the they paid for it. But that opens up things for Burke and pass. And throughout all of this, I mean, if you were telling me there were only allowed 47 points, I don't think I would have believed it. Only 33% for the short. 33. Then you drop 28%. 29. Shot that was 3. They did 4. That usually doesn't do very good job. Well, especially when you shoot 29% for 3. You know, when 29% for 3 is better than 20%, usually not a great. 90% of free throws back up.
When again you combine that, I thought it was going to be huge for everybody. Be on the better side of the assist to turnover ratio. A little bit sloppy for Troy today, and credit Nebraska for making it that way. They had 2 players with 5 turnovers to lead to 17 total turnovers for Troy. Only 11 assists to go along with that. Nebraska, you take this every time out. 20 assists to 6 turnovers. Beautiful brand of basketball for the Huskers again. Competing there, rebounding as well. Out-rebounded the Trojans 37-33 as they get the victory. Some interesting games again going on here. We can continue to check them out. Jerry McNamara, a hero from the tournament years and years back, was the three-point shooter, along with Hakeem Work and specifically Carmelo Anthony to lead Syracuse to their title. Siena now with a lead over Duke. I think it's 22-16. About 11 minutes to go in the first half.
Hey,
look out. And McNeese and Vanderbilt this summer.
Eric and hey, I'm excited. I'm
Wrestling.
I'm like Daffy Duck or something like that. No, I'm excited. We've been here since 11 o'clock this morning. Did the drive movie, came back here, made the drive to Buffalo Wings. Eric, you're at Staples old school, so he didn't know that.
Oh, this is Eric. Well, yeah, he likes to troll. He's making a mistake.
He's on the ball, I see. All right, I'll be sure to make mistakes. 279 here in the ground. On the radio. So yeah, Penn State called the game. I didn't know if it was across the board. Duggan says Nebraska owns the postseason, still own the crown. Hey, that's right. The crown starts getting the first. Creighton's in it. You want to keep the trophy in the stadium?
No.
Bill and Bennett, staple to the Kent Wilson. What are you talking about? I just heard this. At the end of the day, this is tired. Kent Bell. The times he played he's doing it still at a very high level despite his age. Sometimes people age. Games push him along, but he's still out there. Many ranks are going nuts. He's been viral for 6 years out. On that point, Jason. Jake a lot. Well, we haven't heard from him yet, so hopefully but yeah, this is a fun time. Yes, this is the coach. So it was exciting. So sorry, I can't win you over. But regardless of what Nebraska's March 9th. It's exciting time. Saturday to go again. Built the keys going on right now. Score, but
hey, these double them up right now, 10-5.
Hey, they were in the tournament last year. I mean, Mir Khan, the student manager on the bench, Mir Khan, drop him in here. So, yeah. There, yeah, he will be a point line. So I'll be the bench. Good, yeah. Hey, that's the one.
Well, Pavecco should be that story to the point. The bow tie and the years, decades of calling these games. Again, as you were going through that about retirement, so I was just thinking like the changes. There's different coach changes and players that he called for over the years that being Kent Pavelka. And, again, all of it like the rest of us, but him very much in it day in, day out, that grind of what's happened. That's been the story for Husker basketball fans, and what's why part of the story nationally is going to be how many Husker fans were in that building. Nebraska representing well, looked like basically a home crowd for the game against Troy, and for all of us, but especially for Kent Pavelka, they can't take days off, right? When you're the play-by-play broadcaster for the Huskers for decades. Leading up to this point has been a joy to listen to. He is the voice of Husker football, or excuse me, Husker basketball.
He was the Husker football at one point,
yeah. But I mean, when they're gonna have to make a change at some point. Of course, every good time has to come to an end. But that'll be very strange to hear anybody besides Kent Pavelka calling out Husker basketball. And so hopefully the run continues. He gets to have even more of the time of his life, like the rest of us. Here as we cheer on the Huskers, awaiting their next opponent, and it's McNeese Vanderbilt.
We'll know in a little bit. Before we get a break, Eric Mars is asking for a friend, even more Nebraska, he's an alumni of Texas Tech from the city. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, there's a game on Saturday, but at the time, you got time now. It's a weekend. There's a chance to go down to Oklahoma City. Kevin's at 65 at Liberty Hill, Texas. Yeah, if you're watching on totally or it's over under 10 adult he does have the beauty of March Madness. Friday is a rest day. Yeah, assuming he'll have a lot of team here. Downtime, like prep, season after prep for whoever the rest is. Time to relax and see. So we're going to take a break here in a second. Nick Wyman, Jake Bachman, we'll see what keeps going on. Stick around. Husker Postgame. We'll have plenty more. Continue text 402-464-5685.
You're listening to March Mayhem. Live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diode Tech online at diodetech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
In communities like ours, local relationships still matter. At Insight Partners, we believe we are better together. That's why insurance agencies across the Midwest have joined Insight Partners to better serve local customers and communities with all their insurance needs. From personal to commercial or specialty insurance, your local Insight Partners team is here to help protect what matters most. Insight Partners, better together. Learn more at myInspartners.com.
Early break is hitting the road to the NCAA tournament in Oklahoma City. Join me, Jake Sorensen, Steve Sipple, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 a.m. in the outdoor patio area of the Courtyard Marriott in downtown OKC on both Thursday and Friday. Come down and hang out to start the day before Nebraska plays Troy on Thursday, and then join us on the off day on Friday as well. Early Break's trip to OKC is made possible by Sandhills Careers, who is growing in Lincoln. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevenson Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevenson Smith Construction slams expectations.
Do you ever feel okay in your current job and profession, but wonder if there's a better company that can offer more? Vision Mechanical is now hiring for journeyman plumbers and HVAC service technicians. Vision Mechanical offers top-of-the-industry wages, 100% paid health, disability, and life insurance, 401k with employee match, and paid holidays and vacation. Vision Mechanical believes in craftsmanship, teamwork, and building a better future one project at a time. Apply today or learn more at visionmechanical.net or email Ron at vmech.net.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with light winds. It'll be warm with an afternoon high near 81. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and calm winds, a low around 48. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, warm again with a high near 84. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You're listening to March Mayhem. Live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket. Post-game coverage of Nebraska basketball on The Ticket is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, the Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. It's the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, welcome back to the post game. Bob, a lot of great games going on right now. We watched number 12 McNeese State against, what's that, 5 Vanderbilt?
Yeah, 5 seed Vanderbilt. Of course, the winner of that game plays Nebraska.
And this little McNeese State is a little feisty team right here.
Yes, they are. They're up 19-10 on Vanderbilt about 13 minutes ago in the first half. In that one, the bigger story though right now, and sometimes this happens, the blowout happens in the second half, but how about Siena up 33-24 over Duke? And then we also saw Wisconsin in a battle with High Point. Wisconsin, one of the hotter teams, knocking off teams left and right in the Big Ten, now only 72-70 over High Point with 3.5 minutes to go in that game. Louisville USF even getting a little bit closer as Louisville only up 77-70 over South Florida, about 3 minutes to go there. But again, with a 1-point lead. I mean, this is the March, the madness that we've been looking forward to. I think with the first game, Ohio State TCU came down to a last-second lead from Bruce Thornton, did not go in. TCU moving on, and they will take on the winner now, we could say, of Duke and Siena. Is the team that's controlling the game so far. So very, very much fun. You know, there are years where Thursday kind of goes by, it's all chalk, and you kind of go, oh, that's kind of open, especially in recent years. And now, you know, a lot of these games haven't ended. We'll see. You've already got the buzzer beat. You've already got, in the TCU game, I should say, you've already got Nebraska winning their first NCAA tournament game. Of course, the story that everything you talk about here, but it is apt, I guess, that the madness is happening around Nebraska here as well. Maybe we can get some upsets here to get it going. A lot of fun here at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Again, make it out. You're 68th and 0. If you haven't yet, there are now some open seats with Nebraska game being over. Delicious food. I had some truffle wings. I think you had heard truffle wings as we've been talking about all week, and here we are. But again, much of this show we're going to be dedicated to Nebraska and their victory today.
All right, Bob. Who else we got here? We got South Florida and Louisville. Louisville's up 77-70 with less than 3 minutes to go. Bracket's still in track. I was okay.
It is. Your bracket took it.
No, I lost one game, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it look like I'm going to cry about it. I think by the end of the day, everybody's going to have a lost game. Because I don't think you can have McNeese State on there to see how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, very much well could be. And again, that's where we kind of turn the attention now for Nebraska is watching that McNeese and Vanderbilt game. Of course, that's who the winner of that game, Nebraska, will play on Saturday. McNeese came in today. I mean, it's not, they play from at a lower level conference, so you don't necessarily pay attention to them all the time. But a 10-game winning streak. They're 28-5 on the year. So they're a pretty good, solid team. 10.5 steals per game. That could be interesting. Nebraska, of course, got their steals in today's game as well. Shoot about 32% from beyond the arc, if that is Nebraska's next opponent. It's similar, of course, to what Troy did on the season. But they have 3 double-digit scores. So it'll be interesting. Again, it's going to be a quick kind of turnaround to the scout. McNeese, if that's the team, a lot of people are expecting it to be Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt on that side, a little bit more scouted nationally if you're a college basketball fan in general. Then you know about Tyler Tanner and his 19 points per game. Vanderbilt averages 86 points per game. They've been winners of their last 4 of their last 5 and have gone 4-3 against top 25 teams this season, including beating Florida in the SEC tournament. So they're a dangerous team, a very good team. They shoot 36% from beyond the arc, 35 rebounds a game, 16-9 assist to turnover ratio. Will be a really good matchup with Nebraska as far as on paper if you get there. However, would love to see McNeese spoil their party. Darcy, it's always kind of weird there. Then you're taking over seed in the second round, but that team did deserve to be there, right, from beating Vanderbilt. So we'll see how it plays out. But one way or the other, Nebraska will play one of those.
All right, Bob. Wisconsin and High Point. 74, Wisconsin, 73, High Point. Been a great game back and forth game all game, but High Point really making a push for it at the end of this game right here.
Yeah, and of course, to follow Nick Boyd and John Blackwell all season long for Wisconsin, each of them averaging 20-plus points a game. They've been kind of what gets the Badgers going. The Badgers now with a 3-point lead. But again, this is, a lot of people, it's kind of funny we're talking about this as being the Super Bowl for the Huskers, if you will. And it certainly kind of was set up that way. Well, it's the same way for every one of these teams, like High Point. I mean, if you can win here, you can show the way teams hit, that your schools need. Of course, Nebraska is a similar category, but already obviously in the Big Ten, in a better spot. Some of these smaller schools, you think like the Florida Coast or, certainly UMBC, you can make a name for yourself, and usually there's going to be a lot more applications to the college, which is an odd thing that kind of happens out of March Madness, but it does. So High Point, if they can finish it out, now down just 2 to Wisconsin, could be among the stories of the tournament.
Yeah, Bob, I hate to this, but I think this will mess up everybody's bracket right here. I don't think this will be but I can guarantee you, nobody picked Haskell.
Yeah, it's not a popular pick. In fact, that Wisconsin-Arkansas potential next round matchup is the one that I've had in the round of 32. Is one that I've had the most problems with because Wisconsin has been playing so well. Arkansas's got just one of the better players in the nation. Going to be a lottery pick. Has gone off, and Darius Cup Jr. For several 30-plus point games. I mean, they are a fun team to watch. So I really want to see Arkansas and Wisconsin in the next round. But, that's how the tournament kind of route usually goes is you look forward to these potential matchups and what could they be down the line, and everybody's bracket gets busted. High Point could be doing that today if they can get it done, but just under a minute now, they're down 4. Wisconsin has been taking care of the ball, getting the ball in the bucket and crunching. But you can see where the crowd is reacting to High Point. They are more cheering for High Point, as you would imagine. Maybe not a whole lot of Badgers fans among the Husker crowds. And now, again, under a minute to go, Wisconsin up just 1 on High Point. So that one's coming down to the end.
All right, Bob, what else we got up here? Louisville and South Florida, 147 left, 78-72 Louisville. Another tight game here.
Yeah, it will be. South Florida's had to storm back Louisville without Mikael Brown and with their better players, at least for this weekend. So they're going to have to try to get for it and start today. I thought either way South Florida was going to have an opportunity in this game. In fact, that was kind of my going on the ledge. That was my upset pick of the bracket, the South Florida over Louisville. It looks like it's probably not going to happen. Again, that's a 6-point game with about 93 seconds left. So it's still possible, but going to be difficult to see it happen. But one way or the other, we'll see Louisville potentially taking on Michigan State, North Dakota State, where the winner of that game will take on the winner of Louisville, South Florida. So I think it's going to be tough for either of those teams with getting through Michigan State, but particularly if Louisville can do that without your best player, maybe getting back next weekend. They can continue and maybe make one themselves.
When you look at this McNeese State Vanderbilt game, because the winner plays Nebraska. If McNeese State doesn't change the thing for Nebraska, because you expect a Vanderbilt now you have to change coaching philosophy. I would probably say a much smaller lineup with this McNeese State.
Yeah, generally that will be the case, right? And again, we only have so long to kind of view into McNeese State. I've looked at kind of their numbers all together. I don't have like a breakdown of their roster size or anything like that. But again, we can kind of do it on the fly here, as it very much is becoming a possibility that they are the next opponent for the Masters. Still early. About halfway through the first half there, but they've got a 9-point lead on Vanderbilt. Again, it's a long game of streaks, so things can change. But between that and Siena game, I got to tell you, Siena now up 41-30 on Duke. They look like the better team. Of course you would, 11 points into it, but they're slamming the ball. You're getting, just got a big dunk there, got a tough shake at the top of the key. Obviously, it's going to be tough to contain Cameron Boozer, but so far so good for Siena and Jerry McNamara. Again, this is the fun of the curve. There's so many wild games, and sometimes you get these distance games like Nebraska Troy. Quite frankly, for the rest of the viewing audience outside Nebraska fans, which are in heaven throughout the game as Nebraska made it a bigger game, it's less interesting to watch kind of the blowouts that you expect on paper to play out. Right now, we're just in a good time of having all these games that are interesting coming down to the end in the Wisconsin and Louisville case. And then, of course, the interest of the world in McNeese and Vanderbilt. And then the number one seed down close to double digits to a 16. Again, we've seen 2 16 seeds win now over the years. Virginia and Virginia and Purdue over the years have fallen. This would be the most embarrassing in history if it runs out. Again, long time to go there. But, talking about a special day already for Nebraska in the NCAA tournament. If a 16 beats a 1, I just don't even know what to say.
Yeah, it'd be I think you say that. I mean, there's no way that Salah would be in front of Duke like this. But coming down to the Louisville South Florida game, was 78-72.
Yeah, that one is still about a minute to go. That could be exciting. Still, as we are waiting here, this is the post-game show, awaiting Austin Orman maybe to stream in and get his thoughts from OKC. We'll continue this post-game show with thoughts on Nebraska basketball as soon as we get in there. Otherwise, it is partially kind of our watch party here along with you as we're having fun with the basketball breaking down right in front of us. So let's go ahead and take a quick break. We got one more segment coming up for the hour on the Hoops postgame show. We'll be with you. Come on down to 68-0 March Mayhem at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Delicious food. You're going to want to come and get some yourself and enjoy these basketball games and listening to 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
You're listening to March Mayhem. Live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68-0 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diode Tech online at diodetech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
In communities like ours, local relationships still matter. At Insight Partners, we believe we are better together. That's why insurance agencies across the Midwest have joined Insight Partners to better serve local customers and communities with all their insurance needs. From personal to commercial or specialty insurance, your local Insight Partners team is here to help protect what matters most. Insight Partners, better together. Learn more at myinspartners.com.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air,
and electrical.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
You're listening to March Mayhem, live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket. Post-game coverage of Nebraska basketball on The Ticket is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, the Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. It's the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket.
Here we are. It is the post-game post-up. We've got a crowd of folks here at March Mayhem at Buffalo Wings and Rings jumping around. They're excited. I don't know if they're teasing maybe a Wisconsin fan. Wisconsin just lost to High Point. So that is kind of the shock of the tournament so far. But we are bringing Austin Orman live from OKC as well. And I don't know if he's been tracking the Duke game. That is the other surprise of the tournament so far, as they're down by double digits. We also want to say this, we've got Grant Wistrom and Jason Peter entering the building. So if you want to see Husker football royalty along with Terrell Farley, I feel like one of the 95 black shirts in here. I don't quite fit in, but that's all right. We've got Austin Orman from OKC live. Austin, what an experience it was for Nebraska to set history and make history today in the building. I first want to start off with the crowd. Of course, we'll get to kind of in-game breakdown, all that. But from what I've seen from social media and from what you can see from the television, this looked like a home game for Nebraska.
Oh, it absolutely felt like it. I mean, all the players were asked about it. They said, yeah, it's about as close as we're going to get to home away from home. It is, a full, 6+ hour drive from Lincoln. Sure didn't feel like it, right? From the tip, right? Troy comes out, hits a couple of those threes early. They make 3 of their first 4. Nebraska fans stayed locked in. I think the way you could tell the crowd made an impact, and I think that the biggest way that you saw it was because you got some emotion from Rink Mass. You got some emotion from Price Sanford. You got some emotion from Cale Jacobson, these guys who are normally, pretty stone-faced, right? Next play mentality, move on. But I think the energy in that building, probably as early as an hour ahead of tip, all the way through the end of the game. That was one of the loudest environments I've ever been in. It was incredible. Absolutely a tip to the cap to Nebraska fans who made the trip down.
Yeah, it is very cool. It doesn't even look normal to watch a March Madness first round game and see a home crowd environment. But Nebraska, if there's any team to do it, I figured Nebraska would be the one. All right, so that's emotions kind of going throughout the day. How about post game and into the post game? Obviously, they've kind of described it as an elephant in the room, to get that first NCAA tournament win, all that sort of stuff. And you could see, again, on the broadcast, how excited they were on the bench. How did that kind of bleed over into work, kind of the post-game press conference?
Yeah, so the press conference and the open locker room actually went on at the same time. And I got down to just outside the locker room. I don't know exactly what was going on in there, but it sounded pretty happy. right? It wasn't, everyone's losing their mind. Oh, it's all over. They poured everything into this one game and that's it. No, it was an excited locker room, but I don't think it was over the top. I think this is a Nebraska team that expected to win this game. And I mean, they were favored by double digits coming in, and they, beat the spread by 2.5 times, give or take. Not that that's on their mind, but you could tell how much it meant to the upperclassmen, right? Like for Rink Mast, everything he went through, he was a really good quote in post game. Jamarcus Lawrence walked out to go to the press conference and actually pointed at us media members and said, "You do this one for you guys," which is kind of funny. Sam Hoiberg was a little bit choked up at moments. Bryce Sanford had a big old smile on his face. But it felt also like a team that expected to do it. I think, Bach, when you think about the big emotions of the day, most of those came from the fan base, right? Clearly the team was excited. They know what they just accomplished. They appreciate it. They are absolutely soaking it in. But I don't think this is a team that's content, that's satisfied with just getting this one, right? I think they did a pretty good job of meeting the moment, of understanding that they made history, of understanding that, hey, we just did something that hasn't been done in 130-some years of Nebraska men's basketball history, but also understanding that there's another one to come. And you can tell they love this feeling. They don't want it to go away, but they know they have another chance to feel like this in a couple days if they play well.
Yeah, it could be a historic day. Very much looking to our coverage on Saturday in that game. Still awaiting who's going to be playing Nebraska in that, as we're watching McNeese in Vanderbilt as well. As I see Jake Sorensen jumping in here as well with us for a quick segment. Hopefully both of you guys can stick around. We are up against it here pretty soon. But Jake, I did want to start and break you in, just kind of talk about your emotions, the emotions of the crowd and just everybody there at the end of that ball game.
I want to make this clear that Austin and Bill and Sip were in the media section. So I attended this game as a fan in the stands trying to do some media stuff. But I have to admit, full on, I had some tears. I've covered this team for, I've loved them since I was 6 years old. I'm talking about 28 years of life. Imagine the moment that they actually would not only just make the dance, but win a game and win it comfortably. You think your first ever win would be a dramatic win against somebody. They won by 29 points. Bryce Sanford was incredible. Rink was great. Jamarcus Lawrence showed up again. So I think people's mindsets were concerned coming in. Now they're like, okay, hang on a second. McNeese is pushing Vanderbilt right now. There's no reason why Nebraska can't win the next game. And now you start to dream about what could this become, because they finally, for the first time in a while, were clicking. And that was a beautiful sight to see today at Paycom Arena.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and again, a lot of this is kind of the big picture discussion, because in the game, Nebraska absolutely dominated. But we'll get your guys' thoughts here on kind of more of the in-game stuff as well. When we come back, we have to take a break here from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68-0. Again, we're here till 6. Come join us. Grant Wistrom, Jason Peter, Terrell Farley, all in the building. Husker royalty here. They will jump on with us later. But Austin and Jake live from OKC going to be coming up next as we continue the post-game show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Don't turn that dial.
You're listening to March Mayhem. Live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68-0 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diode Tech online at diodetech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at lincolnairport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
In communities like ours, local relationships still matter. At Insight Partners, we believe we are better together. That's why insurance agencies across the Midwest have joined Insight Partners to better serve local customers and communities with all their insurance needs. From personal to commercial or specialty insurance, your local Insight Partners team is here to help protect what matters most. Insight Partners, better together. Learn more at myinspartners.com.
Early break is hitting the road to the NCAA tournament in Oklahoma City. Join me, Jake Sorensen, Steve Sipple, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 a.m. in the outdoor patio area of the Courtyard Marriott in downtown OKC on both Thursday and Friday. Come down and hang out to start the day before Nebraska plays Troy on Thursday, and then join us on the off day on Friday as well. Early Break's trip to OKC is made possible by Sandhills Careers, who is growing in Lincoln. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with light winds. It'll be warm with an afternoon high near 81. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and calm winds, a low around 48. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, warm again with a high of 44. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Husker fans, baseball is back in Lincoln, and it's time to get your tickets to Nebraska baseball. Catch great matchups all season long as the Huskers take on some of the top teams in the Big Ten, including Indiana, USC, and Iowa. Plus, don't miss midweek action against in-state rival Creighton and regional matchups with Kansas and Kansas State. Bring the whole family. General admission tickets start at just $10 or grab reserved seats for $15. Don't miss your chance to be part of the action this season. Get your tickets today by visiting huskers.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to March Mayhem, live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Welcome into the post-game post-up. Nebraska basketball just finished up another game. Hustle down to the block and get position.
Shot clock to 7. Hoiberg missed. Got his own rebound. Right back up. Missed it. And there he is. Garcia. How big has he been down the stretch for this Nebraska ball club? 10 points all in the second half. Now the lead back to 3.
Join 93.7 The Ticket to break down the best players and key moments from today's action.
Sanford a couple of steps from behind the line. And now Lawrence from the corner. He hits. And another eruption from all the red in Lincoln. Not even close. Now Creighton has not been able to hit anything. 0 for 8 from distance. Prager gets some space. He connects.
Post-game coverage of Nebraska basketball on The Ticket is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, the Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical.
Here we gotta go. Down to 5. Hoiberg kicks it out. Lawrence for the win.
It's the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket.
We are live and back from 68th and O. This is at Buffalo Wings and Rings, March Mayhem at Buffalo Wings and Rings. We're here until 6 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow as well. Nebraska, of course, with the victory, were victorious today, 76-47 over the Detroit Trojans to get the first NCAA tournament win in the program history. We've got Austin Orman and Jake Sorensen out live in OKC. They were able to take in the victory live, something I'm sure they will soon never forget. But we talked a lot about kind of the emotions in before and after the game, the crowd, that sort of stuff. Now let's get into the game a little bit, guys, and I'll start off with you, Austin, and Jake will jump to you here in a second because I know you've got a key player that played well today. But, Austin, who was kind of your key to the game to Nebraska? Again, of course, with a big victory, there's several different guys to point to. But who maybe even surprised you a little bit today with their play?
I mean, I think this was a quintessential team effort sort of game, right? I mean, Price Sanford is obviously going to get a lot of the headlines for what he did shooting the basketball, and deservedly so, right? DeMarcus Lawrence has been brought up a couple times. He went 3 of 7 from long range, scored 13 points. Berke Buchengel, I thought, had a really good game. Sam Hoiberg had a perfectly Sam Hoiberg line, 4, 9, and 4. Rink Mast, I thought, was big for Nebraska in the beginning, right? Troy hits a couple threes. It was Valdez, a guy that came into the game shooting 21% from 3 on the year, knocked down a couple open ones, and he was all right if you look at his box score line, 14 points on 4 of 7, including 4 of 6 from 3. But I think the story of this game, more so than the offense for Nebraska and the Price Sanford fireworks, has to be the defense. And that wasn't a one-person job, right? Dowd was a little physically limited, it looked like at times, for Troy in this one. Nebraska never let him get comfortable and get in a rhythm. I think this was a quintessential team win for Nebraska because you had Buchengel start out on Dowd and Sanford on Valdez. Then Frager came in to guard Dowd. Hoiberg had some matchups on Valdez, especially there at the end of the first half. And the big key in this game for me going in was going to be the possession battle, right? Oh, Troy's a good offensive rebounding team. They're going to get after the glass. Nebraska dominated the possession game. And that's not something that one player can do. And I'm sorry if that feels like a cop-out, but Nebraska took 19 more shots than Troy did. Nebraska made 28 shots to just 13 for Troy. Nebraska only turned it over 6 times, and Troy only grabbed 9 offensive rebounds to 3 second chance points. So 6 turnovers, 9 offensive rebounds, 15 free possessions for the Trojans. How about this? Nebraska forces 17 Troy turnovers and pulls down 13 offensive rebounds. That's a combined 30 free possessions then for Nebraska, doubling up what the Trojans did. Nebraska heard the chatter about what Troy's strengths were going to be. Kind of seemed like they took it personal. Nebraska said, no, we can create some extra possessions of our own. Rink Mass said that. Sam Hoiberg said that at postgame in the locker room. Was, yeah, I mean, these guys are not a great defensive rebounding team. When we have our openings, we're going to attack the offensive glass. So, I mean, yeah, sure, there were some standout players, certainly in moments for Nebraska. But I think limiting a team, no matter who they are, to 47 points in a Division I basketball game is incredible. And I think it speaks to the team effort that this win was for Nebraska today from start to finish.
You're absolutely correct there. Defense is someone's going to get overlooked, but especially an NCAA tournament game, as all of these are NCAA tournament teams are playing, to hold them under 50 is incredible. Nebraska, as excited as we can get for threes and, an occasional dunk here and there, is their defense has kind of been leading them all year. That being said, Jake, I did want to ask you, because I know you thought the X factor maybe in this game might be Jamarcus Lawrence. Hasn't been shooting well the last 5 games. It was beautiful to see him get it going there in the first half, and obviously what that can mean for the rest of the tournament as Nebraska moves forward. What did you see from Jamarcus today?
Well, yeah, Bach, exactly. I mean, Jamarcus, I don't try to call him out. I just know when he is playing his best basketball, Nebraska typically is playing pretty well, and they can beat almost anybody they face. I mean, we saw him help carry Nebraska to that win on the road to Indiana, the buzzer beater against Illinois, and we just hadn't seen him play his level of basketball for probably a full month and a half. And today he played great. It wasn't the quickest start, but he got it going, made a 3, hit both free throws, which is good because we saw him have issues against UCLA and Iowa with free throws. And so it's nice to see him swish those comfortably. I thought he was a smooth operator. And going to what Austin said a second ago, the story of this game is defense. You're 100% right. 47 points allowed in a tournament game. I mean, Troy was a common upset pick in this tournament because Nebraska had not played great coming in, 6-6 in the last 12, and yes, they were the 2 seed, the Big Ten, but they lost by 16 to Purdue last. And Troy, had some big bodies, but man, it just felt like you can tell a game in the first 5 minutes. And yeah, they were up at that first mini timeout, but they made threes. You could tell they weren't really figuring out how to attack the Nebraska defense inside, and they never looked comfortable. They never, ever, in 40 minutes, figured out how to attack Nate Lender's defense, and that's credit to them. And that's why you heard a lot of people say that Nebraska is a terrifying team in the dance, because with a quick turnaround time, it's a lot to prep for. You got to prep for them next game and the team you're playing already in the first round. So whether it's McNeese or Vanderbilt, it's going to be a tough matchup for them, for Nebraska, excuse me. And I just like body language. And, man, this is why we talked about the importance of OKC. Like, this was a home crowd. It felt like legitimately PBA South. And I'm sitting in the stands. I know Austin was in the media section, so he can feel the same thing. It was loud the whole time. People stood the entire game, even up by 30. It was a glorious sight. And this is exactly what you dream of for a team that's never done it before. For your first ever win, drama-free. You could not have drawn up a better day and really a better feeling going into the second round. Nebraska will play in 2 days, whoever they play against either Vandy or McNeese State.
Let me jump off on that point, too. I mean, the way the game went for Nebraska, I said it to some people on Media Row, it kind of felt like the dream start. I mean, for Nebraska, we know this is a team that's gotten off to some slow starts. For them to be down early, not necessarily surprising. It's just kind of what this team does. But they didn't let it get out of hand. Troy, to Jake's point, wasn't necessarily feeling itself, right? It's like, okay, yeah, we hit some shots, but we have plenty of work to do. And, Nebraska's crowd stayed in it and stayed engaged. I think Rink Mass was great in steadying Nebraska early. But that's just the thing, Bach. This feeling of, catharsis, I think, is probably the right word when it comes to the fan base, right? I mean, it is March. We love March because of, the upset switch, thank goodness for Nebraska fans. That was avoided in Oklahoma City, at least here in the first game of the day. We love buzzer beaters. We love dramatics. And I think it would have been just so very on brand for Nebraska to have to scratch and fight and claw tooth and nail to try to get this win against a scrappy underdog team that, came in with something to prove. But really from the time you had those two Bryce Sanford threes sandwiching the steal, he stripped their best player, matched up one-on-one. They hunted that matchup. Bryce Sanford gets his hand in the crossover lane, is first to the floor to retrieve it, and then hits the trail three. Pretty much from that point on, it felt like, okay, Nebraska found something. And I think the avalanche is fun for fans, right? The fact they didn't have to sit through it and sweat through it. Would it have been fun to see Nebraska come up with some key plays late, a la Michigan State? Maybe that's in store in the second round. But I think this was one of those moments, like we've all had them just in daily life, where stuff is working against you and working against you, and you're mad, you're frustrated, whatever. And finally, you just like punch a pillow or throw something against the wall and it shatters. That is what this game felt like to me for Nebraska fans, as they waited so long, and these feelings had been welling up inside them forever. 0-8 in the NCAA tournament before. It felt like this Nebraska basketball team just, took a prized piece of china and said, enough is enough. I'm done with this. Smashed it against the wall into a million bits. And they're like, okay, we're better. We're loose. We're on to the next.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that for Nebraska basketball fans. A few more questions for you, Austin, as you're joining us live from OKC. Jake Sorensen might have dropped off there. We'll see about his connection, but we might catch up with him a little bit later. But Austin, now you kind of look forward to the next game. And like I said, we don't know if it's going to be McNeese, or coming up next, or Vanderbilt, but we'll find out here within the next hour or so. The question now kind of turns to me is you've got the 7-man rotation. We saw Jared Garcia get in there for a few minutes. They played him heavier against Purdue to try to see if maybe that could be something that could help him back in that game. Didn't work there. His minutes this time were in the first half, missed a three, kind of quickly taken out after a turnover. Is this a 7-man rotation plus Jared Garcia if he happens to be feeling good that day? Do you think they're going to continue to try, first half minutes for Jared Garcia moving forward?
It depends on the matchup, right? Because I do think that Jared Garcia is he's got a role, right? We know he's not a star, but I think Jared Garcia, can fill minutes capably. He was not ready for the moment, bricked a mid-range jumper, had the turnover, and that was that. But I don't remember if I tweeted this out or if I texted it to someone. But the main takeaway I had, though, was that there's kind of a weird lineup for Jared Garcia to be playing with. I think it was Sam Hoiberg. I think I have it written down. Yeah, it was Hoiberg, Frager, Sanford, Garcia, and Buchtengel. I don't know if we've seen that lineup ever. Certainly not for extended minutes, and that's the one that Nebraska breaks out in the first half U12 in the NCAA tournament, right? Bryce Sanford, was just about to get going at that point. Sam Hoiberg can play some offense. Frager was, impactful today, not the prettiest shooting line necessarily, but two non-shooting bigs, essentially, two bigs that are going to be left alone. I wasn't sure that was the best lineup to optimize Jared Garcia, but Troy wasn't that big, so Jared Garcia is a pretty traditional power forward in size and not really in game with the way Nebraska uses him, but it's probably where he's most optimized. He made sense in this matchup, but you credit, Frager for stepping up. You credit Cale Jacobson for being able to play big. Rink Mass, I thought, played really well. Buchtengel controlled things defensively on the interior. So, yeah, I still think it is that 7-man rotation with some spot minutes for Jared Garcia, but it's March. That's normal. It's not out of the ordinary. And now, Nebraska's played. Today's the third game in 11 days. Lake should be fine.
Yeah. So I'm just interested to see what role he'll have moving forward. Like you said, might be matchup based from here forward. And again, it's the Big Ten Coach of the Year that's putting him in there, and so you got to trust him and see if Jared can kind of get it rolling here. Has sparked Nebraska and that road win against Illinois. Everybody's kind of had their moments throughout the season to help bring Nebraska where they are. You mentioned Frager there for a second. Again, maybe not the best shooting performance, but I was glad to see the 6th man of the year be on the attack today. I think that speaks good, or it should be a good forward moving for Nebraska. It should be good to see him back on the attack after maybe a couple days of not being as big of hunting those shots coming off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it was a poor shooting day, for Frager. I mean, 15 shots was actually the most on Nebraska's team. Actually the most in the entire game out of the freshman from Lincoln, redshirt freshman. Tying with Jamarcus Lawrence in the team lead in scoring, but taking twice as many shots, only 2 of 10 from 3. Took a couple quick ones that, if this is like the Oregon game, maybe they go down, but it looked to me like a guy that, was getting shots up in a blowout just to try to get the feel for it. He's certainly been empowered by this team to do that, to take some of those shots. But it was a good day on the boards for him. He pulls down 3 rebounds, also dishes out 4 assists, as many as Sam Hoiberg did as well. Wasn't a perfect day on the ball defensively, but Braden Frager, I thought, played a fine game. I don't know what his plus-minus ended up being. Maybe that'll be here on the stats. Let's see. Braden Frager, plus-minus of plus 29, which is tied for Price Sanford with the highest on the team in this matchup. And box score line might not look pretty. You can find some stuff on film that Braden Frager might want back, but he did enough. I thought he did his job. He took open shots for the most part, had the assist. He kept the ball moving. And then, of course, a little bit of a highlight, right? About halfway through the second half, gets the steal off the deflection, goes end to end for a pretty big dunk that really got the crowd fired up again there. After Troy, scored the first 5 points of the second half, Nebraska added to its cushion a little bit. But outside of Price Sanford, probably that dunk from Frager is going to be what lives on, right? That kind of felt like the capper, like, okay, yeah, defense is locked in. Frager's contributing, Sanford's contributing. Nebraska has this one in control, and then I think from that dunk on, it was, okay, what's the final margin going to be?
Well, and of course, we go all this time. I want to talk about all these different players. Price Sanford, again, is the story of the day that we're kind of skipping over because you just know that you can get that from him. And he was on fire today. And it's certainly when you're shooting well from beyond the arc, he's even more difficult to guard, can open some things up there. So there will be plenty to be said about him and in that moving forward. Rink Mass, though, I think this is the 6th straight game of double-figure points, led the team in assists. Again, it's always kind of funny to me that I see Sam Hoiberg leads the team in rebounds. Your point guard leads the team in rebounds, your center leads the team in assists. Perfect. That's exactly where Nebraska wants to be. But again, it's hard to tell. It's an unfair question to give to you after a victory over Troy here. But how close is Nebraska, in your mind, to kind of getting back that early season magic that they had? I guess for fans that were wondering and thinking going into this year or into this game, they're not exactly peaking here. But now after a 76-47 victory over Troy, maybe that can kind of, given how much, historically that means to Nebraska, can kind of get their confidence rolling again, maybe to get back to that midseason form they were in.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a Nebraska team that you were on postgame with me and Narden, and I said this when she asked me, what can Nebraska do? Do you feel like they have a chance to play better basketball? And I said, yeah, I mean, it's an unfamiliar opponent. We've been told all year that Nebraska is a tough scout, and there wasn't a huge size discrepancy between Nebraska and Troy either way. But you could just tell what Nebraska did really kept Troy off balance and uncomfortable. And I think, Rink Mass being able to get going early, right? He got downhill in the post. Nebraska missed him a number of times as well on switches. He passed out his switches with, a 6'2" or 6'3" guard on him that I was a little confused about. But, hey, he's Rink Mass. He's won more NCAA tournament games now than I have, so I can't necessarily talk. But, I thought Rink Mass did a good job of being there, using his size in the post to help Nebraska kind of stay steady in the early going. I mean, the first half box score for Rink Mass, 5 points, only 2 of 7, left a couple short from 3, missed a couple around the rim, but had the and one finish through contact, but also 5 rebounds and 4 assists in 19 first half minutes. We never, ever, 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 never, ever see Rink Mass play 19 minutes in a first half, maybe in a second half and overtime combined. But Rink Mass hardly came off the floor for Nebraska in that first half, because he was doing such a good job piloting the defense, keeping guys locked in, being in the right position and facilitating the offense. So, again, it's against, Troy, Sunbelt team. We'll see who Nebraska plays as we get closer to the end of postgame here. But, yeah, it did feel like, Nebraska was back to its early season ways. I'm not necessarily shocked by that. But the Price Sanford thing is hilarious because Valdez was assigned to guard him. He just couldn't hang. He even helped off of Price Sanford wide open in the corner when they were in zone. Like, the one guy in the gym you don't leave, is that guy. Valdez did it multiple times, lost him around screens and whatnot. So I think Nebraska took advantage of some of its own, matchups and really capitalized on it throughout the course of really the first 30 minutes before the game was in cruise control.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Price as open as he was, given that would be the scout coming in at certain times. But, obviously it's kind of pick your poison, and they picked it. They let Price get some of those open shots, and, of course, they paid for it. All right, let's go ahead and take another quick break. Austin, you good for one more segment?
I'm good till 4. You can kick me out if you want, but no, I got nowhere to be. I'm here. I'm chilling. I'm on Postgame.
I didn't know if you want to catch Duke. They're only down 4 now. Hopefully you got that in the peripheral as well.
I got a job to do, Bach. Come on. We're celebrating the first Nebraska men's basketball tournament win. The 1 seed can wait because we got win number 1 to talk about. Come on. That's why we're here.
Absolutely. All right, we'll continue it live with Austin Orman from OKC. This is March Mayhem at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68-0 on the ticket. We'll be back after this.
You're listening to March Mayhem, live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68-0 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines. Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
In communities like ours, local relationships still matter. At Insight Partners, we believe we are better together. That's why insurance agencies across the Midwest have joined Insight Partners to better serve local customers and communities with all their insurance needs. From personal to commercial or specialty insurance, your local Insight Partners team is here to help protect what matters most. Insight Partners, better together. Learn more at myinspartners.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we are very excited to announce our spring sales event happening now at Coppell. We have 0% financing or up to $13,000 off select GMC and Chevrolet inventory. You heard that right, 0%. Or $13,000 off select inventory. We'd love to see you at the store or check us out online at coppellcars.com. Folks, this is really confident buying and confident driving. Stock number C127238 and G173977 with approved credit.
Hi, Charlie Stone again, and Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln will be joining me to talk about the Honda Spring event. Andy, I know this is a big event for you. Please tell us all about it.
I want to start out by thanking the Lincoln car buyers for an incredible year in 2025. It's just been announced that Honda of Lincoln is Nebraska's only Honda dealer to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2025.
Wow, that's great, Andy. How many times now have you earned that President's Award?
It's a total of 20 times now, Charlie. The Honda Spring event is truly a big event for us. We have incredible savings on every remaining 2025 and every new 2026. Special low rates, long-term financing, and special lease rates.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
You're listening to March Mayhem. Live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket. Post-game coverage of Nebraska basketball on The Ticket is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, the Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and John Henry's Plumbing, Air, and Electrical. It's the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back. Nick Wyman filling in a line change here at 93.7 Ticket and ticketfm.com.
On the other side. We have a bit of a lag on the other side. If you can hear that, I can hear my multiple times here.
We're good. We're good now. We're back.
You can hear me. We're good. We're rolling. But Nick Wyman here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Lots happening, Austin. How's things going down there? Also, special thank you to John Henry's, Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell's Farm Services, and Union Bank and Trust for making this possible.
we've been a part of history. There's still a lot of people around. It's cleared out quite a bit, Austin, from here in 68th and O at Buffalo Wings and Rings. But we got Grant Windstrom and Jason Peter hanging out for So nice little loaded cast, and that is just what this brings. But some exciting times. Are you sweating out the Duke? You said you're a little hungry. You missed the voucher. I guess that's the only L that happened today for Nebraska was you missed your food voucher.
I am not as hungry, in fact, for any food as Husker fans were for this first win. I mean, plain and simple, right? This is a fan base that was starved beyond belief for this first NCAA tournament win. They still hold the distinction of being the final power conference team to win an NCAA tournament game. But here's the thing. Who knows how much longer we have power conferences or conferences at all. So Nebraska's on the board. It's all good. And Nick, we can tell from our text line just how much it means to people, right? We'll go to Jeremy on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Jeremy says, my father passed away 5 years ago. The way the Huskers performed today really makes me wish he could have seen it today. Johnny Cortland went to my first Husker basketball game in 1968 with my dad. He would have really enjoyed Coach Hoiberg and this team. From the walk-on, the heartbeat leader, Sam, well done. Go get you a few more. Why not? Corey, fellas, the sports gods have finally lifted their thumb off Nebraska athletics. Wouldn't it be the wildest year for Duke to lose to a 16, Nebraska to run it all the way to the Natty off of their first ever tournament win? Fieldstormer Mark, my brother was the biggest Nebraska basketball fan forever. He was a longtime season ticket holder. Now, we often talked about how we would ever finally win a tournament game. He died just a little over a year ago. I know he's smiling from above today. A lot of tears from a 65-year-old fan. And there's plenty more texts like that on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line, right? And, you know, how special for all those people that waited and waited and waited their turn to get the NCAA tournament win, that kept showing up, that kept, filling the Coliseum and Bob Devaney and Pinnacle Bank Arena, for all those years without getting one. All the great players that have walked through the halls at Nebraska that never were able to get that done. And so for all the people that, suffered for that long without one, congratulations. I hope the wait was worth it. I hope it feels as good, if not better, than you ever imagined it could be. But then we can take the flip side to it, right? How many people there, Nick, we're fathers and sons, mothers and daughters getting to experience this for the first time, right? For how many people is this a first core memory? Obviously this win, but the whole season, right? So many teams in Nebraska history have come and gone. And, from the best teams to the worst teams, you grow up with your team, right? We know that Husker fans are dyed in the wool, red all the way through. And so for all the fans that suffered through all those long years without a win, I hope it feels as good as you imagined it would. For all the new fans, right? The people that are just watching more basketball for the first time this year because of this team, what a perfect season to get on the bandwagon and no need to hop off, right? I mean, yeah, Nebraska is going to, lose a bunch of these guys whenever the season ultimately concludes, but there's no point in talking about that now because this group, this team has made so many core memories for so many people, whether it's the long-suffering fans, whether it's the college kids that get to go out and celebrate in Bricktown, the middle school and elementary kids that are watching this at home. Oh my goodness, look at Nebraska. Yeah. It's going to stick with Husker Nation forever, as a win like this should.
So earlier today when we were doing our giveaways for the day, we're giving out giveaways top of the hour every single time, Austin. We had a fan, a young kid won one of our giveaways. He comes up here and I'm like, aren't you supposed to be in school? And his dad goes, no, I got him out of school for this occasion. We got him out of school to have him for this. And I was like, oh, his sister wanted to go to school. I was like, well, that's her loss. He was probably the youngest guy here at Wings and Rings at 11:40 this morning, but he was able to experience that moment with his dad. And look at that, this 8-year-old kid in 40 years will be able to have his own kids and say, hey, I won a 93.7 the ticket T-shirt at Buffalo Wings and Rings and experienced Nebraska's first win. Don't bury the lead here.
Well, no, that shirt, Nick, here's what's going to happen. In my head, what happens is this little kid that comes up and won this ticket T-shirt is going to wear that shirt to bed tonight, right? It's going to be his pajama shirt. We'll see if he takes it off tomorrow. But where that shirt's going to be on Saturday. He's going to be wearing it. That 93.7 the ticket T-shirt is going to turn into his lucky T-shirt, and eventually he'll outgrow it. But he's going to keep that T-shirt in a memory box because, gosh dang it, I witnessed Nebraska win. I won, and this T-shirt's sticking with me no matter how many holes get in the armpits.
I wish you could have seen how electric it was. Me and Farley and Bach were on the call here during the Bach and the Black shirt before we did post game. People were smiling ear to ear, the excitement, you could feel it in the energy. Awesome. I mean, it's something we'll talk about in 30 years from now. You'll be like, oh, yeah, you and Jake Sorensen. Is Jake Sorensen going to sleep tonight? I think is the biggest question people come up to me. They're like, is Jake doing okay? I'm like, well, he's on Postgame right now, so I know he's okay. So I don't know if he's sleeping tonight, but he does a 6 a.m. early break tomorrow morning. So,
well, here's the thing. If Jake sleeps tonight, it's going to be because he's blackout drunk. Jake has done a good job handling himself so far. I feel like I need to keep tabs on him the rest of the night. Here's the thing. Jake Sorensen is indeed a long-suffering Nebraska men's basketball fan. I will give him credit for that. I think Jake has probably made his own suffering worse with his mentality sometimes, but I'm happy for that dude, right? To get the chance to let his fan flag fly for this one as Nebraska found a way to win it. He'll obviously talk about it all on early break tomorrow. But no, I mean, I think that's going to be the question for Husker fans, right? Are they so buzzed that they're not able to sleep and they need Saturday to get here? Or is this finally the win that allows Husker basketball fans to rest easy, right? To take that load off and actually get a good night's sleep because it's over, it's done, and Nebraska won. Let's head back to our text line here. Eric says, just a reminder, 3 beers and Jake Sorensen is feeling all right. Yeah, probably fair. Joseph says, move over no sit Sunday. Today tops it all so far. Something special on to Saturday. 0606, Scott in Tulsa. It was great to witness the win in person. A lot of kids at the game. Go Big Red. 89-85. It could have possibly felt better in 91, but I was only 16 back then and hadn't been as long-suffering as now, so I don't know for certain. Nebraska was good enough back then to win the whole thing, and I think Nebraska is that good now as well. 3404, Duval Husker. All these years of Nebraska ball was worth it. History has come. Not satisfied. Deserve to see more of this team. And Phil the Burn. It was fantastic watching the Skurs get their first tournament win at Buffalo Wings and Rings with Big Swim and a house full of Husker fans. See, that's just the thing. Like, I don't think this can be – we can't say it enough, right? It to the rest of the country is, okay, cool story, Nebraska. You did it. You finally caught up to the club. But I can only imagine, how similar this felt back in mid-January to Indiana fans, right? The sad sack program that gets trampled on, that's, a tough luck loser down on its luck, little engine that could every so often actually accomplished it. Sam Hoiberg said this. Cale Jacobson said this. I think Rink Mass said this as well. One of the obvious questions in the locker room is, what are the emotions? How does it feel? What's going through your mind? And all 3 guys, and probably more players, said it's not something you can put into words right now. You had to be there. And here's the thing. Husker fans were there. They can put their own words on it. But to be those players, to still be in that moment, it's one of those things that they said that they don't know how to put words on it, that even though people were there, it's a different experience. And I think, that's what Nebraska fans can say to the rest of the country. You can see with your eyes that Nebraska won this game, but you can't feel in your heart, in your brain, in your soul, what this win actually means and what it feels like.
And you have another game Saturday. Like you said, everybody kind of gets a day off. The fans get a day off. We get a day off from doing all the coverage, but you're going to be there. There's a lot going on. Ken Pavelka gets a day off. I really think of him, a guy who's been through the highs and the lows through everything Nebraska basketball has had to offer. Some seasons, they don't even win double-digit games. He's been through the highs and the lows, and he's able to experience that. Happy for that guy. He's a big fan of our postgame shows as well, I've seen throughout. So hopefully if you're listening, Kent, big fan as well. It's still a question of who Nebraska is going to play. Vanderbilt, anything really stand out during this game in the little bit you've seen? We know McNeese has that experience of being in a tournament like this before, but Vanderbilt's got some good guards. I mean, as we all know, guard play can take you a decent chunk of the way throughout a tournament.
Yeah, I got to watch both these teams at shoot-around yesterday. I actually spent more of my time after the locker room walking around the concourse, right? I got a couple time-lapse videos that I'll be posting soon to show people just how packed the arena still was after the game with Husker fans hanging out. So I wasn't really watching the Vandy McNeese game, right? McNeese has played a pretty high-pressure, high-tempo system, but like you said, the guards, right? Miles and Tanner really figured it out, how to break that pressure. But here's the thing. I don't think that's what we're talking about till tomorrow. Now, not to brush aside your question, but today's about
it doesn't offend me.
Today's about Nebraska, and it needs to be about Nebraska because they made history, and that's the way they won this game, right? This wasn't a game that Nebraska was pushed over the finish line by, big conference bias from the officials gave Nebraska a chance, or, well, Nebraska was just bigger and that's all it is. Nebraska absolutely earned this win. Nebraska earned the right to be one of the final 32 teams standing and dancing. And so I know the team is going to be on to Vanderbilt or McNeese. Whenever this game is done, they'll start getting their prep and their scout done. But I'm telling Husker fans, enjoy it. Live in the moment. There's no reason to worry about what comes next. And I tried to say this throughout the course of the year, right? The tournament win was the question. Is this the year Nebraska gets it done? If Nebraska doesn't get it done, how big of a disappointment and a failure is it going to feel like? Guys, you were watching a 20-0 Nebraska team. You were watching a team that finished second in the Big Ten. At some point we have to do right by these players and stop immediately jumping to the big picture and whatever's next. It's okay to stop and smell the roses, because guess what? Today, the roses are Husker red. Nebraska gets it done. They win their first NCAA tournament game. You can smile. You can be happy.
We're going to go to break one more time. We'll close out the postgame show and turn it over to Old School. We got Grant Windstrom and Jason Peter in the house for the first hour of Old School. We'll have John Henry's, Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell Farms Financial Services, and Union Bank and Trust. Thank you for making this possible. We'll be right back. 9317 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to March Mayhem, live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hi, Charlie Stone again, and Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln will be joining me to talk about the Honda Spring event. Andy, I know this is a big event for you. Please tell us all about it.
I want to start out by thanking the Lincoln car buyers for an incredible year in 2025. It's just been announced that Honda of Lincoln is Nebraska's only Honda dealer to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2025.
Wow, that's great, Andy. How many times now have you earned that President's Award?
It's a total of 20 times now, Charlie. The Honda Spring event is truly a big event for us. We have incredible savings on every remaining 2025 and every new 2026. Special low rates, long-term financing, and special lease rates.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with light winds. It'll be warm with an afternoon high near 81. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and calm winds, a low around 48. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, warm again with a high near 84. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names. Plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Forget the lame excuse this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work for those 2 magical days in mid-March. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday, March 19th and 20th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday to get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it and stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. It's March Mayhem with 93.7 The Ticket for the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings on 68th and O.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we are very excited to announce our spring sales event happening now at Coppell. We have 0% financing or up to $13,000 off select GMC and Chevrolet inventory. You heard that right, 0% or $13,000 off select inventory. We'd love to see you at the store or check us out online at coppellcars.com. Folks, this is really confident buying and confident driving. Stock number C127238 and G1739777 with approved credit.
You're listening to March Mayhem, live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket. Post-game coverage of Nebraska basketball on The Ticket is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, the Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. It's the post-game post-up on 93.7 The Ticket.
Plus show, Husker post-game for Nebraska basketball. Picking up a win over Troy. And if you didn't know by now, this is the first win in the NCAA tournament. We can finally bury the hatchet on that graphic that they have never won one in the NCAA tournament. It's finally over. The drought is over. Nebraska moving on to Saturday to play either McNeese or Vanderbilt. Still up for grabs. 9.5 to go to that one. Vanderbilt leading 54-50. Nick Wyman here, 68th and 0. Buffalo Wings Rings alongside Austin Norman down from Oklahoma City. As always, post-game, John Henry's, Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell Financial Services, Union Bank and Trust for making this possible, and for all the people who've stuck it out here at Wings and Rings throughout the day. Line was out the door. It looked like kind of probably the line looked at the Raycom Center today, Austin.
Yeah, it was incredible to see Nebraska fans. I made it inside 2 hours and change before tip, but I made a point to go up and see when the gates were open what it looked like. And, it did look like the Sea of Red storming in. That's absolutely what it was. And it wasn't a sellout crowd like it would have been at Pinnacle Bank Arena, but we know that the Paycom Center has a reputation, and Thunder fans have a reputation for making that building a loud one. I think Husker fans did a good service to the Thunder, who are allowing them to play in the building right there, right? The honor to play in the NCAA tournament down there. I think Husker fans did the building justice with how loud they were. It was 95% Husker fans. I saw, a couple sections of Troy fans, mostly the parents and family section. Also saw some random Tulsa jerseys. I didn't get a look at the back to see if they were Jared Garcia Tulsa jerseys in his return, but there were some pretty cool moments in the tunnel after the game. I just happened to be walking out after Jared Garcia, and he met up with plenty of people that he knew from his time in Oklahoma. So, maybe not the best box score performance for Jared Garcia, but still a cool moment for him nonetheless, right? To say that where he started his college career, at least where he transferred into Nebraska from, that was all there. But yeah, I'm really curious to see now, Nick, with Nebraska having locked up a spot on Saturday, if Nebraska fans can make it a sellout down there in Oklahoma City. I don't know the ticket situation. Maybe some of the other seats were purchased by, fans of other programs. But, man, for Nebraska to get the draw that it did, that's why, the protected seed matters, right? I think Vandy was probably a little bit underseeded as a 5. I might have moved them up to the 4 line, maybe switch them in Arkansas over full body of work. But Arkansas was making light work of Hawaii early on. Vandy's playing some good basketball. McNee's always dangerous out of their conference as well. But no matter who it is that Nebraska's going to face coming up on Saturday, it ought to be rocking. History's already been made. So what's a little more history on top?
Before we let you go, how are you feeling? Duke's just got a multiple possession lead. How are you feeling right now? It's been a long day for you, but this Duke's probably making you sweating it out a little bit.
No, I haven't even been watching. I haven't watched a second of the Duke game, and I don't think I'm about to start. No, I have receipts here. I have receipts. Okay, I texted you this, and I'm just gonna pull them up here. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. How stupid would it be if Nebraska men's basketball lasts longer than Duke? I suspect most of our brackets would be similarly affected in the negative. Not going to say who sent me that one. It'd be so March is what it would be. But more importantly, I said Duke will figure it out. I'm not too worried yet. It's been dumb, but they'll get it turned around. And again, I think this is just another point in Nebraska's favor, right? To put the credit and the focus back on the Huskers, because Nebraska played okay in the early going against Texas A&M, hit some threes, and then lost it, right? This Nebraska team has gotten off to some slow starts in first half. It just trailed at halftime against inferior competition, found ways to win a lot more than they lose. Again, officially a school record of 27 wins with this one as well, so doubly historic for the team and for the program. But, Wisconsin just got clipped. We heard about that one. Right, Ohio State got clipped by TCU and came out and didn't play well. And so, no, Nebraska didn't have a perfect start, but they rode the wave. They managed the emotions. They stayed on beam, and that led to really good things. It's not easy, no matter if you're the top overall seed like Duke, a top 16 seed like Nebraska, a team that had to fight tooth and nail to get into the tournament like Ohio State. It's not easy to manage these moments sometimes. And so I think, credit to Nebraska, this team for being the one to finally find the way to manage those emotions, to do enough and more than enough to absolutely leave no doubt that this was a deserving team, a deserving group of guys to get that, gorilla off the back of the program and really the entire fan base. So a huge credit, a huge testament to those guys. And I'm curious to see if the banner goes 15 names deep or if there's a statue that looks kind of like the one in front of Memorial Stadium. But again, maybe the size of the statue depends on the length of the run. They continues. That's the important part, right? Nebraska won. They live to fight another day, survive, and advance. We've never been able to say that for Nebraska men's basketball before, but hey, a big credit, a big shout out to this team for being the ones to survive and advance.
And that is how we do it. We're against the top of the hour, but we have old school coming up. Not with Austin. Austin's going to enjoy his time. Take a little breather, maybe catch back on some Duke basketball. Thank you, John Henry's, Lincoln Airport, Jack Russell of Financial Services, Union Bank and Trust for making this possible. Old school, Grant Windstrom, Jason Peter in the house. We got the stars out here at Buffalo Wings Ring. Still time to come down as well. We'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to March Mayhem, live coverage of the NCAA tournament from Buffalo Wings